Okay guys, here we go. Trying to do it again. Hopefully it works this time. So we're into section 11.4. Hopefully this one is up and down. I think I got it figured out, not 100%, but we'll see how it goes. So we're still doing with linear problems. Remember last section we did slope. So this section we're actually going to look at the equations, and the two equations you need are standard form. Standard form is ax plus by equals c. And the other equation we need right now is something called slope-intercept form. It's called y equals mx plus b. A couple key pieces of information. M is the slope. Remember, that's the same as last time. And b is called the y-intercept. It's where it hits the y-axis. And it's actually going to be a point. It's going to be the point 0, b. So they're going to have us do a couple things. Number one, identify the slope and the y-intercept. So for the first one, the slope is 1 because the number in front of x is 1. The y-intercept is the point 0, -4. For equation 2, see they're being kind of tricky here. They're giving it to you in standard form. So the easiest way to find the y-intercept is convert it to slope-intercept form. So I'm going to get y by itself. And now divide by 2. So the slope, -3/2, and the y-intercept is the point 0, 4.5 or 9/2. Again, they're being kind of tricky here. I'm going to get x by itself. This is a vertical line. Remember, x equals the number is a vertical line. So the slope is undefined, no solution, and it has no y-intercept because it's a vertical line. All right, next thing they're going to want us to do is graph a line through the point having a slope of 3. So they're giving me the point and they're giving me the slope. So the point, look at that, it's actually off the graph, so I'm going to have to go down a little bit. We'll pretend like it's right there, 0, -4. And then the slope is 3. Remember what slope means, rise over run. And if I connect these two dots, that's the first line. Same thing over here. The slope is 2. The y-intercept is 2. This time the slope is negative, so down 2 over 3, and I connect my two dots. Remember, slope is rise over run. This is how far up and down you go versus how far left and right you go. Rise over run. Okay, let's see what else they want us to do here. For problems 6, 7, and 8, they want us to match it. So they want us to know if it has positive, negative, no slope, or 0 slope. All right, remember the slope is the number in front, so this is positive slope. Now 3 is a pretty big number. 3 is bigger than 1, so it's going to have to be a pretty steep line. So it's going to be b. Do you see how b is a pretty steep line? Problem 8, I'm going to skip problem 7 for a second. Problem 8, you see the slope's negative. That means it goes down from left to right. The only one that goes down from left to right is C. So then by default, this one has to be A. And it makes sense. The slope's 1 and the y-intercept is the number 3. All right, next thing they're going to want us to do is convert it once again to slope-intercept form and then graph. So get y by itself and let's graph it. The y-intercept is -4. Because that's the b value. And my slope, remember this is really 3 over 1. Up 3 over 1, and I connect those two dots. Once again, get y by itself, divide by 3. Look, there's no number on the outside, so that means that the y-intercept is 0. And then I'm going to go down 2 over 3. Remember, it's rise over run, and connect the dots. I'm going to let you try 11. Again, I'll post the answer when we get on there. Remember we talked about this last time, all right? Parallel lines have same slopes. Parallel lines have same slopes. Perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes. Remember you flip it and make it negative. That's how you tell the difference between parallel and perpendicular. So determine if they are parallel, perpendicular, or neither. Let's see. Well, this one's already in slope-intercept form. The slope of this line is 1/5. This one I need to get in slope-intercept form, so I'll move the 5 over. So the slope of this one is -5/1. Those are opposite reciprocals of each other, so these are perpendicular. Again, I'm gonna let you try these two, and I'll put my answers up later. Write the equation. So the first part of this was all about graph. Now they want us to write the equation. So they're giving us some information and they want us to write the equation. And notice they want the equation in slope-intercept form. So y equals mx plus b. They're giving me my slope and they're also giving me my y-intercept. Y equals 2/5 x plus 4. Why don't you try number 16 and you can check your answer later. Problem 17, the slope is 0 and the y-intercept is -3. Y equals mx plus b. Y equals 0 times x plus -3. 0 times x is 0, so we get y equals -3, otherwise known as a horizontal line. And remember, horizontal lines have 0 slope, so we knew it was horizontal right off the bat. And as always, they're going to want you to do a word problem. Let's see what we got here. A taxi company has an initial charge of $3.50 plus $2.75 per mile. They're giving you the equation. Identify the slope and the meaning of the slope. Okay, well, the slope is 2.75, and that's the charge per mile. Identify the intercept. The intercept is the point 3.5. The context, that's the initial cost. That's not how you spell initial. That's how much it costs to get into the cab. Use the equation to determine total cost for a 12-mile long cab ride, all right? So cost equals 2.75 times 12 plus 3.5. Of course, I'm going to use my handy-dandy calculator on this. Probably should have had it out already. 2.75 times 12 plus 3.5, whoops. $36.50 is how much the cab ride is going to cost you. So be sure you go back and try those other problems that I skipped. Again, I will scan this and post it. I'll post the answers and this video. So I hope you're having a good spring break and see you when I get back. Bye.